Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. This is Mariana Williams. I'm here joined by my colleague, John Suttard, and today we're going to speak to you about some changes that are being introduced by Google with their Chrome 56 update. And at the end of our presentation, we'll have some time for questions, and we'll also share some new things that are on the horizon here at Achieve, and also share with you a quick overview of some of the services that may be new to some of you joining us here today. With that, I'll go ahead and I'll hand it off to John to get us started.
Hey everybody. Just want to give you a quick outline of what we're going to cover today. So the primary focus of the call today is to bring you guys up to speed on some upcoming changes in Google Chrome, which currently has about 65% of the browser market. And then I'm going to expand the scope of that a little bit and tell you about the larger HTTPS everywhere initiative that Google has going on, and then we'll give you guys a couple of options and tell you what's going on with Trusted Partner, the current version, and some new features that we have on that would support HTTPS everywhere. And then, as Mariana said, we're going to pull the curtains back a little bit on our new initiative for Trusted Partner and some of the new services that Achieve is offering beyond our historical or legacy set of services. So with that, we'll get started here. So Google Chrome right now is I think it's at 55, and originally they were saying sometime in January, but January is come and gone. So sometime in the next month or so, we're anticipating that an update will come out to Chrome that is going to begin to change the behavior of the Chrome browser and how it reports the security of websites to people. So this is kind of the first step in the UI of the Chrome browser. So what it's going to do is it's not going to explicitly label HTTP sites as non-secure, but it will start to mark certain pages on HTTP sites that collect passwords or credit cards as non-secure as part of a long-term plan to mark all HTTP sites non-secure. So just a quick digression here. So for everyone who doesn't understand the difference between HTTP and HTTPS, that's essentially when your browser is browsing sites that are secure or not secure via SSL. And SSL is the secure socket layer, which in essence encrypts the conversation between your computer and your browser and the web server of the website that you're currently browsing. So historically, HTTP was the standard, and typically you would only see HTTP on sites that had passwords or secure content, or you were doing some type of financial transaction. So as you can see on the bottom, current Chrome 53, if you're on a login page that doesn't have a password screen on it or a password field on it, you really had no indication that you were on a secure page or not on a secure page unless you knew to look for the lock. So now, as of Chrome 56, if it is not HTTPS, you're going to get an informational notice saying not secure. The eventual treatment on all HTTP pages where Google's trying to get to is ultimately you're going to have the not so subtle, not secure nastygram pop up in your browser when you're on any page that's not HTTPS. So that's what is going to happen here shortly as soon as Chrome pushes out this latest update. The stuff over here, the non-secure, is kind of the first step in user experience of Chrome and Google making that obvious to the users as they're browsing sites. So to expand the scope of this out a little bit, this is part of a larger initiative that Google started back in 2014, which is their HTTPS Everywhere initiative. So back in 2014, they made a subtle yet significant change to the Google algorithm on how it ranks sites and how sites get ranked in their index is based on what they call a ranking signal. And those are essentially the list of criteria that they use to rank a site. Whether a site was secure or not before 2014 didn't make a difference on your ranking. In 2014, they changed the index to make it so that it is a ranking signal. Now, it's a secondary ranking signal at this point, so it's not as significant as making sure that your site is very search engine friendly with proper titles and URLs and relevant content. Those are tier 1 or top level ranking signals, but it is a secondary ranking signal. So if all things were equal between you and a competitor, say you both had a pretty killer SEO page, if your page was HTTPS and their page was not, you would get the nod and you'd get the higher ranking. So that's kind of what that means. The second thing they did is in 2015, they flipped the default indexing for the Google crawler. So the Google crawler now looks for pages via the HTTPS protocol, and if it doesn't find it, it falls back and indexes anything it might find under HTTP. So if you have content that is HTTPS, again, that's going to give you a bit of an advantage over anybody who doesn't have HTTPS. Option 3, or number 3 there, is kind of where we are in the process. So this is the beginnings of the initial changes to the behavior of the browser. We can anticipate that Microsoft and Firefox will probably follow suit shortly after this and change the behavior of their IE, Edge, and Firefox products. And then the next phase, which we'll be moving into next year, is where they get fairly explicit about it. At this point, it's more just kind of informational, nice to know. As we move into 2018 and beyond, Google is going to change both their algorithm. So if you're not secure, you will actually suffer a penalty, not just be moved down below an HTTPS, but you will actually be penalized. And then for anything that is non-HTTP at that point. So they're moving to everything secure. I've included, and our Director of Marketing, Rye, will be following up with an email with all of you guys to give you access to this presentation. We've included some of the Google blog entries that outline some of this in greater detail. So we want to give you guys kind of an overview here, just so you know the general sense of where everything's headed. So what does this mean for you guys? And I've alluded to this already in some of the things I've talked about. Google is strongly promoting HTTPS. They've adjusted their algorithm, their ranking boost for HTTPS URLs, and I already gave you this example, and then why showing users HTTPS pages in their search results decreases the risk for users to browse a website over an insecure connection. So this gets back to the indexing of the site. So when you search for something, if it is prioritized and they find HTTP access or HTTP content first, that's what they're going to index. And that's also what they're going to show in their search results. So when you click on, when you search for something and click on a link to go to that website, it's going to go via HTTPS by default if it found HTTPS content. So again, this is all kind of subtle things they're doing to further lock down the web and make it a more secure place. So what are the options for you guys as current trusted partner customers? So we, over the last month or so, have been working on providing a new feature within the current trusted partner platform to allow HTTPS everywhere within your site. So we have clients who are running in one of two modes right now. We have clients who are running in a completely non-secure mode where their entire site is HTTP. They don't have any donation or secure pages. So they're running with no HTTPS. And then the second class of clients we have are running what we call mixed mode, where some of the site is HTTP, your content sections and stuff, and then the other portions of the site, donation pages, login pages, credit card pages, and whatnot, are via HTTPS or secure. So we've created a new option in Trusted Partner that will allow you to essentially flip a switch and the entire site can run under an SSL key with fairly easy effort to make that happen. So the way to do that, it's kind of a two-step process. The first thing you do is just submit a feature request to Support at Achieve Agency, and you go through our support department, Billy and the guys over there, and then they'll work with the Trusted Partner dev team to get your site turned on. And then our infrastructure group will work with you as far as acquiring your SSL keys. So if you already have SSL keys, it's a matter of just turning on the switch, and then the rest of your site would then become HTTPS. If you do not currently have SSL keys, then there is a bit of a procurement process we have to go through to acquire your keys. So down in the next section here is where we talk about if you don't have keys already, we're running a bit of a special right now to incentivize some people, if they're not running HTTP, to get on the bandwagon, so to speak. Our 1 year price is $149. Our 2 year price is $249. Just remember that these are annual costs associated with keeping your keys current. These are costs that we, in most cases, pass most of it through from what they call CAs, or certificate authorities. So if you're interested in doing any of this stuff, just submit a support request to the support guys, and they'll get you taken care of and get you moving. On the horizon, so the next thing we wanted to talk about is where we're going with Trusted Partner. So over the last 6 months or so, we've been evaluating technologies and architectures and options for where we're going to take the next generation of Trusted Partner. And we have begun that work already. The next version of Trusted Partner will be renamed to Trusted Partner Open, and that is because we're utilizing the latest technology built on the Drupal 8 open source content management system. The initial feature set that we're working with is on par with bringing over the current features of Trusted Partner, and also taking our internal knowledge of customer feedback we've gotten over the last few years on things that people are looking for on the platform, which is going to include a significant enhancement to the SEO capability, easier to customize, and greater admin control, including mobile-friendly admin console. So what does that mean for you guys? So easier to customize is probably one of the biggest areas. Some of you who have needed things outside of the kind of the sandbox of what Trusted Partner provides off the shelf have, we've run into, there's some complexities with the architecture that we've been working with. The system is currently, not to get too technical, but the system is currently built on a platform called ColdFusion, which is an older technology, and so customizations to that platform have become, in some cases, cost prohibitive for some clients, and challenging for us to implement in other cases. So by moving to Drupal and being on an open source platform, we have a lot more flexibility to us. We also have a lot more capability off the shelf, and we'll be on a modern technology stack. So Trusted Partner Open sites will also be fully responsive out of the box, and we will support, as in the past, our semi-custom and our fully custom designs. And so the decision to go with the Drupal platform was driven by a couple of things. First of all, it's widely accepted. It's probably the most powerful open source content management system out there. Some of you may be familiar with a platform called WordPress, which is similar in nature. It's an open source content management system. So think of Drupal as, we like to use the term, it's WordPress on steroids. So Drupal provides a lot more security capability, a lot more scalability, a much larger range of contributed modules in the open source community. It has a very strong community behind it, and there's some major players who use Drupal. Whitehouse.gov, previous with the Obama administration and now with the Trump administration, continuing the tradition of running on the Drupal platform. Weather.com just migrated all of their infrastructure onto Drupal. MSNBC, the Emmys and the Grammys, which both give you an idea of the scalability of the platform. Those sites have to handle literally millions of hits within a small period of time during the shows. The Economist and even Bruno Mars. Actually, but Beyonce runs on it too. We didn't have room for her on the slide. So that's what's on the horizon. If you're interested, right now we're in the scaffolding phase where we've built out the initial phases of this, where we're working with the on-par features with the current trusted partner, and we're about to move into the enhanced features and kind of some of the reworking of how we do things in trusted partner, and we are forming an external advisory committee. So if anybody on this call is interested in participating in that committee, please reach out to our solutions group or to RI directly, and let them know you're interested in participating in that. The next thing we're going to talk about is our expanded services. And at this point, I'm going to hand it back over to Mariana and let her kind of go over what Achieve is now and the additional services that we have to offer.
Great. Thanks, John. All right. So for some of you that are joining us on the phone today, you've been technology partners with us for several years. And what we wanted to do is just take an opportunity to share with you some of our extended services that we have available. And those services include our research, strategy, marketing, and technology. Through each of these pillars can stand alone, as you've seen with technology, but we have found that the best results come from a combined and comprehensive approach of these services. So just to kind of go over them quickly here, so we've got under research, included in research, we conduct surveys, interviews, focus groups, usability testing, and behavior tracking. And then under strategy, we do fundraising campaigns, multi-channel campaigns, branding for your organizations, consulting, and donor list acquisition assistance. For marketing, the extended services here include our digital marketing, retargeting campaigns, copywriting, SEO, and Google AdWords. The marketing side of the house and the technology side of the house really do go hand in hand. Some of the enhanced features that we'll be introducing inside of Trusted Partner Open really help us to achieve the marketing goals that we set out to for our clients. So on the technology side, we have the new, what John just introduced, our Trusted Partner Open. And for those of you that may not be familiar with it, we also have our Race Partner, which is our endurance platform, which is a platform used for race registrations, triathlon registrations, things of that nature, in tandem with peer-to-peer fundraising. We also have great client support and training available, as some of you have already experienced. And then custom design services and UX, UI design and testing. So if you have any questions or would like any more information about our new services, just go ahead and you can send an email to solutions@achieveagency.com. That information will also be included in the presentation that is shared with you. And on that note, I would like to go ahead and close.
Okay, so one thing we just wanted to let you guys know is that Rye will be sending this out, this presentation, and any instructions on how to get involved with our focus group and our advisory committee for Trusted Partner Open in the future. And so at this point, what we'd like to do is open it up for any questions. And let's scroll through here and give me a second. We'll see, does open source mean? Does open source mean open to more hackers? Actually, quite the contrary. Contrary is that open source platforms are public domain platforms, meaning that the source code is available to everybody. So the benefit of that is instead of having some proprietary platform that only a handful of people are taking a look at, that are a handful of people that are using and have tested on, you literally have millions and millions of sites out there that are running on this platform. Drupal in particular is the platform that we chose, is known for its security. Typically, when we get the question about security on Drupal platforms, we typically point to whitehouse.gov and the conversation ends. Whitehouse.gov is the single largest probably hacking target on the internet, and it's been successfully running on Drupal now for close to 10 years. Open source means that there are a lot of eyeballs on the code, and in particular, Drupal has a security advisory council that responds to any notifications of security hacks or exploits or exposures that have been discovered, and immediately gets those pushed out. So in reality, open source systems are typically more secure than proprietary systems. All right, let's see if we have any other questions here. I think that's it. Let's see if there's anything in the chat here. Nope. Okay. So on that, I think we'll go ahead and finish up. 23 minutes. That's pretty quick. If you guys have any questions regarding any of this, again, support is going to be probably your first avenue for any kind of technical questions or how it relates to your website. If you have any sales questions related to expanded services or how you might be able to interact with us in a different way, either on our committee focus group, you can send that to the Solutions at Achieve agency, which is our marketing and sales group. All right, so on that note, thanks everybody, and we appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.